If you're planning your first sailing on P&O Arvia, these are the things I really wish I'd known before we went on board. I'm Lolly, a mum of two, and we've just come back from a Norwegian Fjords cruise on Arvia. And these are the little tips, hidden gems and easy to miss things that genuinely made a difference to our trip as a family travelling with older kids and teens. Let's start right at the beginning with Embarkation Day. One of the biggest tips is don't turn up outside your boarding time. Unlike some cruise lines, Arvia runs quite strictly on time slots, and we saw people being asked to wait. It's much smoother if you arrive when you're actually meant to. One lunch spot we found great after we'd been off exploring was Taste 360 in the Sky Dome. It's one of the easiest places for lunch, and it was much quieter than we expected. You can choose from burgers, pizzas, hot dogs. Also look out for the meal of the day, which for us was always a Norwegian dish, and they also have salads and coleslaws and sauces too. Now, one thing that did really help us was our cabin location. If you're close to the stairs and lifts, you'll save yourself so much walking, especially down the corridors on a ship this size. It sounds small, but by day 2 we were very glad that we thought about it. I know people worry about the noise by being by the lifts, but we honestly did not have any issues. If you'd like to see my full cabin tour, then that is up on my channel now. Another thing that we found useful is that the Horizon buffet is pretty much open all day. A lot of people only think it is for breakfast, lunch and dinner, but don't miss the late afternoon tea with scones and cakes. And also they have late night snacks from 10 o'clock. It's a really easy option when you just want a quick bite to eat, and you can also take your food back to your cabin. Next, don't miss the sunrise if you're sailing the fjords. We were very lucky to sail into Olden. We sailed in April and we got up at 5 in the morning, and this was the view, and it was just spectacular, and it was just so special watching the sunrise. We were fortunate in that we had a balcony, but there was also a lot of people up on the deck watching the sailing, and I really do recommend getting up to do this. The restaurant at Green & Co is not just for vegans. There are actually 2 menus, so you can choose of the Asian one too. It is one of the specialty dining restaurants, and it's £10 per person for a 3-course meal, but we found it really good value, and it was one of our favourite meals on board. Now let's talk excursions. One thing we learned is always double check your port excursions, because sometimes it can be cheaper to book outside the cruise line. Just make sure you're careful with your timings if you do, to make sure that you're back in time before the ship sails. On sea days, there are also some really good quieter areas on board. The lower deck hot tubs were much quieter than the main pool areas and became one of our favourite places to relax. Deck 17 also has loads going on during the day, from sports to open deck space and activities. They've got table tennis, quoits and shuffleboard that you can participate in. And there was also the giant chessboard, which is outside too. And these were some of the quieter areas we found around the ship. This is just right by the Sky Dome as an outside area, just tucked underneath the stairs. And this was on deck 8. Also more seating areas that you might not realise is there. And one of the unexpected things we ended up enjoying was hiding cruising ducks around the ship. It sounds silly, but it became a fun little challenge throughout the week, especially for the kids and teens, to try and find a hidden duck, and they had as much fun in hiding them too. Just make sure you don't put them in the hot tubs, in the pools, or in the shops. And throughout the day and in the evenings, don't miss the Atrium acts. These aren't actually advertised on the Horizon newsletter, so it would just be a case if you stumble across them. There are often live acts, singers, or little performances happening here, and it is also one of the best places just to sit and have a drink and soak up the atmosphere. And finally, disembarkation day. It can feel a bit rushed, but if you want to hold on to your luggage rather than putting it out the night before, you can self-disembark and walk off with your luggage. It makes leaving the ship a lot calmer for some and less stressful, as you don't have to find your luggage when you get to the departure hall. For us, we did put our luggage out the night before because we just had too much to carry out. You do have to leave the cabin by 8 o'clock. We then went and had breakfast, and then we had to wait in the Sindhu restaurant, which was our waiting room. We then got called down to the baggage hall and were able to collect our luggage. So these are my top Arvia tips and hidden things from our Norwegian Fjords cruise. If you've got a cruise coming up, I'd love to know in the comments what you're most looking forward to. And for your next videos, make sure you check out my full Arvia ship tour, where I show you everything on board in detail, and my embarkation day vlog, so you can see exactly what happens from arriving in Southampton to stepping onto the ship for the first time. If you found this video helpful, I'd love it if you subscribe. I've got lots more Arvia content up now and also coming, especially more Norwegian Fjords travel videos.